Imagine a superpower, confident and dominant, suddenly facing an enemy it cannot defeat. In 218 BC, Rome ruled Italy, but a Carthaginian general named Hannibal Barca changed everything. He marched an army with war elephants over the Alps and into Italy, an unthinkable feat. Rome, once invincible, was pushed to the brink of collapse. The Second Punic War became a test of endurance and willpower. Rome's discipline and manpower clashed with Hannibal's genius and relentless drive. For years, the two sides fought a brutal war of survival. The conflict wasn't just on battlefields, it tore through Roman farms and homes, shaking the Republic to its core. Yet Rome refused to surrender. Instead, it adapted, learning to outlast its terrifying foe. The war's legacy is clear: victory isn't about winning every battle, but refusing to accept defeat. Rome's grit and sacrifice forged the empire that would dominate the ancient world. This is the story of how Rome, facing annihilation, learned to survive. The road to victory was paved with grit, sacrifice, and an unbreakable will. Hannibal's army, battered but unbroken, descended from the Alps into Italy. Rome expected an easy victory, but Hannibal delivered disaster at Trebia and Lake Trasimene, using cunning tactics to destroy entire Roman armies. Panic swept through Rome as allies wavered. In 216 BC, Rome assembled its largest army ever and marched to Cannae, seeking a decisive win. Hannibal set a trap. His center retreated, drawing the Romans in while his cavalry encircled them. The result was a massacre. Tens of thousands of Romans killed in a single day. Rome's elite fell alongside common soldiers. The Republic's future hung by a thread. Hannibal's officers urged him to march on Rome, but he hesitated. For Romans, it felt like the end of the world. The storm had broken, and nothing seemed able to stop it. Rome's darkest hour had arrived. Would the Republic survive? After Cannae, Rome was devastated, but not defeated. Instead of surrendering, they turned to Quintus Fabius Maximus, the delayer. Fabius's radical plan, media group, Roman general planning strategy, historical drawing of Roman army avoiding battle, map of troop movements in ancient Italy as stock are distributed equally, avoid direct battle with Hannibal, harass his army, and starve him of supplies. This Fabian strategy demanded discipline and patience, a bitter pill for proud Romans. Rome's armies shadowed Hannibal, striking only when safe, refusing to be lured into traps. Critics mocked Fabius, but his tactics bought Rome precious time. The Republic rebuilt its armies, restored order, and showed allies that Hannibal could not protect them. Hannibal could win battles, but not the war. Fabius taught Rome that survival sometimes means knowing when not to fight. The foundation was laid for Rome's comeback. Patience, not glory, would save the Republic. Rome learned to endure, adapt, and outlast. The tide was beginning to turn. While Hannibal ravaged Italy, Rome fought on other fronts. They targeted Spain, Hannibal's power base, to cut off his reinforcements. The Scipio brothers led the campaign, winning allies and battles, but both were killed. Out of tragedy rose Publius Cornelius Scipio, young and bold. Scipio captured New Carthage in a daring assault, crippling Carthaginian resources. He defeated Carthaginian armies with innovative tactics, turning Spain into a Roman stronghold. Rome's multi-front war stretched Carthage thin. Even after Cannae, Rome raised new legions for Spain, Sicily, and Greece. By expanding the conflict, Rome dismantled Carthage's empire piece by piece. Hannibal was trapped in Italy, unable to win the war alone. The real victory was being forged far from Rome. The war in Spain was the silent front where Rome's fate was decided. Rome's resilience and reach proved unstoppable. Hannibal remained in Italy for over a decade, hoping Rome's allies would defect. Some did, but the Roman core held strong. Cut off from Carthage, Hannibal's army struggled for supplies. The Fabian strategy turned his brilliance into frustration. Rome refused to fight on his terms. Hannibal's army became a predator with no prey, unable to force a decisive victory. Meanwhile, Rome could replace lost armies. Hannibal could not. The turning point came when Hannibal's brother Hasdrubal tried to join him with reinforcements. Roman forces intercepted and destroyed Hasdrubal's army at the Metaurus River. Hannibal received his brother's severed head, a grim sign that hope was lost. His last chance to win in Italy vanished. Hannibal's campaign had reached a dead end. The fate of Carthage was sealed. With Hannibal stalled, Scipio returned from Spain with a daring plan to invade North Africa. Despite opposition, he won command and trained his army for a new kind of war. In 204 BC, Scipio landed in Africa, forging an alliance with the Numidian prince Massinissa. This gave Rome elite cavalry and deprived Carthage of its best horsemen. Scipio's victories in Africa forced Carthage to recall Hannibal from Italy. After 15 years, Hannibal left Italy to defend his homeland. The final showdown was set, not in Italy, but on African soil. Scipio's bold strategy had worked. Rome was now on the offensive. The fate of two empires would be decided at Carthage's gates. The endgame had begun. In 202 BC, near Zama, Hannibal and Scipio faced off for the first and only time. Hannibal unleashed his war elephants, but Scipio's columns opened lanes, neutralizing the threat. The infantry clashed in a brutal struggle. Hannibal's veterans fought fiercely. The battle hung in the balance until Scipio's cavalry, led by Massinissa, returned to strike Hannibal's rear. The Carthaginian army was surrounded, Cannae in reverse. Hannibal's forces were destroyed, he barely escaped. Carthage was forced to surrender. Scipio earned the name Africanus for his victory. Rome had survived its greatest test, not by brute force, but by learning, adapting, and enduring. The Second Punic War ended with Rome ascendant. Hannibal's genius had met its match. The Republic's will had prevailed. The world had changed forever.